So I'm Charlie Su. I'm CTO and Senior Vice President of NDIS Technology. So today I'm going to talk about taking RISC-V to mainstream ASICs. And you can see what I mean by that. So here's a quick bio. I got my PhD from Urbana-Champaign, and I spent about 12 years in Silicon Valley working on a state-of-the-art microprocessor project, such as Clipper, C5VIW, MIPS R10K project, and Alpha Sun, Niagara, T100 and T1000 and T2000 multi-core multi-threading server on a chip. So this is today's agenda. So first I'm going to give an introduction to NDIS, give everyone NDIS corporation background, and I'll provide highlights of NDIS processor solutions. And I'm going to talk about NDIS star architecture and our new generation V5 and its relationship with RISC-V. And I'm going to talk about our new NDIS core, NX25. And I give a conclusion. So NDIS technology. We are to innovative performance-efficient processor IP solution, or SoC. NDIS was founded in 2005 in Hsinchu Science Park. Our core R&D team, with a lot of rich Silicon Valley processor companies experience, such as AMD, EC, Intel, MIPS, NVIDIA, and Sun. 2012, we were listed by EE as Silicon City Hot Startups to Watch. 2015, we were awarded by TSMC OIP Program Partner of the Year, which isn't quite easy for a soft-core company. Last year, we were joined RISC-V Foundation as founding member, and we just went IPO on Taiwan Stock Exchange on our 12th anniversary day. That's about 2 months ago. So NDIS provides a comprehensive list of processor IP solutions, started from our patented processor architecture, called NDIS Star, and then based on that, we designed a series of processor IP called NDIS Core. And then we have SoC and hardware development platform called NDIS Shape, development tool, NDIS Site, and rich software stack from bare metal to RTOSes to Linux, which we call NDIS Soft. So we're going to spend a little more time later. And here I'd like to give a quick overview of our business. So NDIS has over 120 commercial licenses. We started from Taiwan into China, and we have customers in Korea, Japan, US, and Europe as well. So together, our customers ship over 2 billion NDIS embedded SoC from our active 8 different line of processors. NDIS side, our ID has over 11,000 installations from our customer and our customer's customer and user. In our ecosystem, we have over 100 partners. And our customers have diversified applications based on bare metal, RTOSes, and Linux. So before I proceed further, I'd like to give a quick executive summary about what we're going to talk about later. So in this new generation, NDIS Star V5 architecture, we're going to adopt RISC-V as its architecture kernel. And NDIS core is going to expand from 32 bits to 64 bits based on NDIS Star V5 architecture. With that, NDIS would bring rich processor solution to RISC-V community, to RISC-V users. So here, I'd like to proudly to say that NDIS is the first major CPU IP vendor adopting RISC-V. So what does it mean by architecture kernel? So we're going to elaborate a little bit later. Okay, so continue to go back to NDIS introduction. Since today I don't have a chance to do the demo, so I'd like to use a couple of example of devices with NDIS embedded as an introduction, and also to show where our volume goes to. So NDIS is embedded in 1 out of 5 smartphones, and the number the ratio is increasing. So our CPU is used to run connectivity chips like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, FM, and also touch panel controller, and sensor hub, eMMC controller, and NFC controllers. And NDIS is also embedded in IoT devices which use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or running protocol like L2.15.4, or Cat-M, and narrowband IoT. And NDIS customers' sensor fusion chips are used in major notebook PCs brands as such. And NDIS is also embedded in all kinds of different devices, different chips. So we have a customer doing high precision ADC MCU, customer doing speech synthesis, and ADAS controller, and also SD card flash controller. So last but not least, NDIS customer with computing use their innovative data flow architecture to design a scalable machine learning computer and use in data center. So machine learning computer is their term. So web computing is quite a hard stuff in the deep learning field. So NDIS core is used as the system control processor to control their massive processor array, 16K tiny processors. So next, I'd like to give some highlights of NDIS processor solution, which support our customer to reach the 2 billion unit production. Before that, I'd like to talk about NDIS product and our relationship with open source, since RISC-V is open source. Right? So several NDIS products are built on open source and prior art, like probably most everyone. So our NDIS IDE use Eclipse, GCC and LLVM compiler, 3DB and OpenOCD debugger. And NDIS soft stacks, including a rich set of popular RTOSes, such as FreeRTOS, OpenRTOS, ECOS, Contiki, and we also have Linux and a bunch of middleware from open source. And in addition to our full-feature large development board, we also have compact Arduino-compatible development board we call Andino. And last but not least, NDIS ISA, we designed it based on our past experience on various RISC architecture, and definitely the book. And we're looking for a new one. So when it will be published? December. Okay, and reserve one. So our innovation started, not stopped here. So NDIS core, we have NDES series. N stands for novel, so for novel processor with high performance efficiency, and some features you don't normally see in other processors, such as power break, which we use purely digital way to do frequency scaling, and stack safe, the feature to do stack protection by hardware, and code dense is a bunch of features from compiler to instruction set to produce very dense code size. And D is for DSP capable processor with cost efficient pipeline. And E is extendable processor to add customer's own instruction for application specific acceleration. And also you can use that for code size reduction as well as code security. And S is a secure processor for the best protection of your most valuable information. We know that compiler is one of the most important tools in the development tool. So we use our compiler's improvement. We use MSC to measure it over the past 9 years. So in that period of time, our performance increased by almost 70%, and our code size reduced by more than half. Compared to another 8 companies, 9-year achievement is 34% and 16%. I think this is quite impressive. So today, it is about 40% higher performance efficiency and 20% smaller code size to our major competitor. And design, our ID has a rich list of additional features. Starting from project setup, we provide a linker script editor so that people don't need to write more than 100 lines of code for the linker script, GNU linker script. I was told that even when you write hello, the linker script you need is like over 100 lines. And French ISP, a lot of MCU need to use French for programming. And in debug support, we have RTOS awareness. Let me show you a screenshot for our latest processor. And we also have register with bitfield view, which make development very convenient. On the program analysis side, in addition to function profiling and code coverage, we have this unique feature we call performance meter, which will show the delta cycle between 2 start points, which means you can do single stepping across your source line, and it can show you the cycle spent on each line. And if you do it in instruction level, it shows you the instruction cycle. So that's performance meter. And we also provide function code size view and static code size view, which help customers to do their either ROM or flash or RAM planning when they're doing the SOC. And we also provide custom plugin interface, which allow customers to do exotic interfaces like waveform displayed here. So this is one from our customer. They do the ADC input sampling with, I think, the precision from 30K to 50K sample per second, and display it here. And this allows them to not writing any software and can start to do their ADC debugging. Okay, next, and this custom extension we call ACE, which is the environment allow customers to do instruction extension. So for that, we provide a list that we call extensible baseline component, which provide for the tools, simulator, and RTL ready to be extended. And customer write AC script to describe the operand, C semantics, and optional test cases, and also concise RTL in Verilog. So this goes to our powerful tool called Compiler. It generates for the extended component for tools, for ISS, for RTL. So the extended component together with the baseline component become a unique processor that only the customer has. And whenever people design something like instruction close to the other entity, like the baseline processor we provide, they worry about whether the instruction will work or not. So verification is very important. So compiler would provide automated environment for cross-checking verification from 2 inputs that user will provide. That is the C semantics versus concise RTL. So we folded these 2 things that usually people need to do when they design processor into our flow, so it can be automated. Okay, so what kind of instruction you can design into this environment? So you can design scalar instruction, vector instruction, and both can be run in foreground or in background. And for instruction, you need to take operand. So operand can come from the standard entity like whatever you have in your processor, in your baseline processor, constant GPR and baseline memory. And in addition to that, a custom can also design custom register, custom memory, custom port, and use that as the operand. So what can be automatically generated? What does the tool do for you? So operand selection will be automatically decided, but if you want to decide your own operand optical position, you can do that too. And all the required tool and simulator, like I mentioned in the previous page, be automatically generated and with very fast turnaround time. You don't need to send your design to our website. And in the optical side, instruction decoding, operand mapping, and operand access, dependent checking, and result gathering will be automatically generated. So you only need to focus on the function you want to design. So you are not really feel like you are designing an instruction. You design the function itself. I have an example, but I think I probably will move to the backup slides. Okay. Maturity and stability. A customer usually asks silicon proven and mass production record. So it's about maturity and stability, because most users don't want to upgrade at any moment without clear benefit. So our open source strategy is that we adopt a stable version to a managed pace. Usually we take one and use it for a while, and then we move to the next one. And in the production verification, since we do that, we need to cover the verification part. So we do very heavy verification and also formal model checking for our RTO design. We also go to the standard CAD flow to make sure our delivery don't break customers' flow. And on compiler test suite, we use open source tests and allow the commercial tests, plus the in-house tests we accumulate over time. Then we have debug IS test suite, and also NSI ID, we use commercial GUI testing tools, and Linux, LTP, and more. So then it's also about long-term commitment to IP business. So there's a lot of work here. Okay, NSI architecture. Let's take a closer look at NSI. NSI is 16 and 32 architecture. So it's a RISC architecture, and characteristic of NDIS we call RISC kernel as this. So 16-bit and 32-bit instructions are intermixable with 16 and 32 register configuration. We don't have delay start, no predicated execution, no condition code. PC isn't a GPR, and R0 isn't hardwired to 0. And in basic, like everyone, basic ALU instruction, low scope, and branches. In addition to that, we had instruction with longer immediate. We had low scope with additional address mode. We patented low scope multiple words, and more. So what I want to point out is the characteristic of major commercial RISC architecture when it comes to this RISC kernel, they are all different. But it happened that RISC-V is most similar to NDIS start, except R0 in RISC-V is 0. So when we started NDIS start architecture, we are designing it. We started with our RISC kernel. We adding some instruction, become our baseline. We're adding more, become our full feature. So that has been what we're doing from V1, V2, V3, and backward compatible. And on top of that, we're adding features like we talked about earlier, codance, stack safe, power break. And we have custom extension, DSP extension, floating point, security extension, more application-specific feature. And then we have a bunch of powerful software, starting from a compiler tool, compiler optimization, more than 200 DSP library, secure autosis. We have it there to work with our hardware and also architecture. So It's about 6 years ago we had a V3 finalized. So since then we have been thinking about our next generation. So with RISC-V coming along, we have a lot of internal discussion. So after some discussion, we decided to swap our RISC kernel to RISC-V kernel. And that became our next generation V5 architecture. So you may ask why we skip 4. Because in Oriental company, 4 is not a good number. But if RISC-V is RISC-4, I probably would do that too. But I'm not superficial. Okay. So in our architectures in V3, we have this V3M, V3 is micro version and also full version. So V5M would be based on RV64, IMAC, plus some NDISC extension. And V5 would be based on V5M plus more extension. So this means that any style would embrace RISC-V as its subset. We have some common direction, that is compact kernel, modularity, extensibility, and 64 bits. And definitely we like the momentum behind RISC-V ecosystem. So with that, NDISC style will become NDISC 64 and 32 architecture. So this is for data. We're going to bring NDISC style strengths we accumulate over time to RISC-V as well V5, and with a bunch of features that we talked about earlier. So architecture beyond the kernel, efficient process pipeline implementation, that's also our strengths. Platform IP, and NDISC, and RTOS, Linux support, commercial grade verification, and also professional supporting infrastructure. So that's a complete package. Okay, so new NDISC called NX25, which is based on V5 and 64 architecture. It has 5-stage pipeline, mid-branch prediction, local memory, or some people call scratchpad or PCM, and caches, and with optional parity and ECC protection. And our bus is AXI64 or HEB64 with more than 32 address bits. We had JTAG debug module. And definitely our codec stack protection and power break. And we also implement PRIC with up to 1023 sources and 255 priority level and 16 targets. And we also added an efficient interrupt nesting mechanism with priority-based preemption and allow software interrupt to be generated efficiently. And we're running on TSMC 28 nanometer regular VT. We can get to over 100 gigahertz worst case. This is not run up to, this is worst case. And with 67 K gates and about 17 microwatt per megahertz. So I tried to search in the past RISC-V forum. A lot of people talk about power, but I never see microwatt per megahertz. So I think this is the first time, that is, maybe I missed something, but this is the first time to throw out a consistent number. Frequency, data count, and power consumption all together. And NX25 has pre-integrated platform, so this is a quick overview. As you can see it here, the top portion is CPU subsystem, NX25 and PRIC, and we have ASI and HV bus matrix, and associated DLL engine, and a rich list of APB peripheral. And this is a quick screenshot of RTOS awareness debugging for RTOS. So we have a task list, so you can see the status, and then there's also event queue list. And if you click this plus sign, you can see the register displayed, so it's 64 bits show the register state. Okay, with this, I will give a quick concluding remarks. and it's love open source. I think it's a good platform for technology advancement and competition. And this open source spirit, reflecting JFK's famous speech. So ask not what the community can do for you, ask what you can do for the community. To do that on your own. So Andy has been actively contributing to the RISC-V toolchain even before we started our NSTAR V5 or our code development. So we ported an integrated GCC testing framework and test suites. We fixed over 100 failures due to GCC test suite regression, and we contributed over 20 plus bug fixes to the official toolchain. And with our guy, Kito, he raised hand, so that's the main guy. So he told me that we are the second major contributor, and just behind Berkeley. If it's not true, you can talk to him. And now he is serving as the GCC co-maintainer. So I think RISC-V has a great start due to its open, compact, modular, extensible, and 64-bit features. But I wonder we should advance beyond free into RISC-free. I think free ISA is good, but customer, what they really care is RISC-free SoC development. So the current environment for RISC-V is good for CPU experts, like everyone. But it's not good for majority of SoC design team who demand faster time to market, high stability, quality, comprehensive support, and more important, they want lower total cost of product development and maintenance. And so this need experienced CPU vendor to bring it to the mass. So Andy's aim to address is with NSTAR V5, and we started with an efficient 64-bit implementation in NX25, and so we like to bring RISC-V feature, a new feature to V5 processor, and also to RISC-V community. So with that, I conclude my talk. Thank you.
We have time for a few questions. Dave wants to go first.
That was a great talk. Congratulations. I have two questions. How hard was it to switch from the Andy's old architecture to RISC-V?
How hard?
Is that hard? Was it weeks of work, months of work?
Well, months of work, yeah. Yeah. So if you see my description earlier, most of them is related to RV3, and you see there's no there's not a lot of dependency with architecture we need to highlight, but it's more from when things are tied up together, that's because they're from the same vendor. It's not really architecture dependence. So a lot of hard work is the guy there, compiler. Yeah, and development tool-wise, I think debugger probably less work, compiler has most work. And then if you talk about RTOS, Linux, there's some work there. But I think that with the great community we have here, before we started, it already had free RTOS, already had Linux. And for things like we don't have, I think, for normal RTOS, we take about months to port it to our old architecture. So it's nothing.
And about how many how many chips a year use Andy's architecture?
So up to today, over 2 billion, and last year we had, I think, 450 million units, yeah, from our customers.
Hi, Sean from India. So my question is, besides GCC, what other tools do you plan to contribute to the RISC-V community?
So can you repeat your question again?
Besides GCC, any other tools do you plan to contribute to the RISC-V community?
Yeah, well, the compilation environment, I think we're already doing some work there, like including in new list, including maybe Kito you can comment. on the compilation tool.
Oh, our tool chain include unlib and BU will contribute back to the upstream, and we have planned to other compiler such as LMA. We are also working for that.
Yeah, so I think, for the GNU environment, GCC, Newleaf, and BUTO, that we're going to warrant all the open source requirements, but for the thing which everyone don't contribute, we definitely would not, because now we are a public company, our shareholders going to sue us if we do so.
Alex White, Media Tech. So your last comment about low risk, so what would you say are the biggest risks to using RISC-V for SOC?
I'm probably biased, but I think depending on where's the audience talk about. If expert here, I think everyone can do it without anyone help. But go outside this room, everyone need help, and they need professional civil company to support it. Because we got probably 30 to 40 customers in China. They need a lot of hand-holding. It's not because they are not capable. They are busy to develop their own product. The product is beyond processor, right? So processor is just a standard tool, which is very important, but somehow generic. So they need, whenever there's a problem, they think it's processor, and if you don't have enough credibility, you need to go there. Otherwise, they're not going to use it. A lot of times we found that it's not our problem, but you need to prove it. So we, with so many experience, now we are more sure that it's not, customers are more sure it's not our problem. So when they ask questions, they'll be more clear, more polite.